And we're back with the next episode of The Real Rides with Views and Vibes. What happened? That was good, right?
Great job. It's full of energy today.
I'm full of energy today. I'm excited. We ended up finishing one property, and now it's like a playoff series. We win the series, and you can celebrate it for a couple of days, maybe not even, maybe 24 hours.
24 hours.
And you got to get ready for the next round. But so we was trying to figure out what we should talk about for this episode. And I think one thing that came to mind was that we wear many hats. She's a designer, you know, I'm the investor, but I don't sit back home waiting for checks, you know, and she doesn't just do design work. I mean, I know she could touch more on the designing part and what she brings to the table other than designing, and then I'll do the same at the investing side.
Yeah, I mean, so you see it, Views and Vibes Design, you're like, oh, how cool, she just designs. But that's so far from the truth, because we do so much more than that. I mean, especially me, because one day you could catch me being a maid at the property and cleaning properties that we have on the market. One day you can find me outside doing landscaping, because that's what the property calls for, and we're trying to stay on budget. One day you can find me in the tile stores picking out tile selections, and another day you can find me at Home Depot in the plumbing supplies. So there's just not one thing that I do, and that goes for both of us. So we have to be very versatile in what we have going on and be able to wear different hats. It's just super important that we can do it all.
Yeah, and then as far as the investing side, I wish I could just sit home and just chill, relax.
One day.
And collect the check with these properties, but got to be very hands-on. I'm a pretty hands-on guy. I think learning the business inside and out is how you get better at things, right? You just don't want to give out the check and just sit home, and you just think it doesn't work that way. You know, you have to be very hands-on and dealing with the GCs. You know, at times I'm doing landscaping myself.
I recruit him from time to time.
At times, you know, where we're throwing out a bunch of trash, you know, or dealing with the plumbing, the electrician, or you know.
I forgot. I'm also a landlord.
Oh yeah, she's a landlord too as well. So we wear many hats. It's just not, you know, we're not just focused on one title per se. But yeah.
But I think that's important. I think with anything that you do, right, you shouldn't just have one skill set. You can focus on one skill set, and that can be like your specialty, what you're passionate about. But if you really want a business to grow and you really want to be successful, you have to be open to doing things that you expect other people to do. And I think that that's just really important when it comes to growing and building and figuring out what works and really branding yourself. So
yeah, the other thing is not only dealing with the GCs, but you know, when anything goes wrong, again, I'm gonna say this again, water has been our worst enemy. You know, I have to deal with it. You know, we have to deal with it. From anything, even times where you know, you trust these GCs to make sure they're doing what they need to do, but and then there's a lien on the property, and
because they didn't pay somebody.
Because they didn't pay somebody,
and because a lot of people might not understand why. You're probably asking yourself either A, what is a lien, or B, how is there a lien on your property and you didn't know about it?
Yeah.
Right.
Yep. So the way you find out if you have a lien. You know, you have your title company that you deal with, and you just have them, you know, to run the title to see
it's clean.
That it's clean and all, and everything is in order, and you know, and you deal with it accordingly if it's not clean or whatnot, and find out what, you know, who took out the lien and address that person,
and then
or that company.
you might have another question like, why would there be a lien on a property?
I mean, the reason why there might be a lien on a property is because one of the workers didn't get paid. One thing about me is I don't play with people's money. I like to pay on time. I pay. You tell me what is it, and that's the amount you're gonna get on time always. And
as long as the job is being done.
Exactly.
And sometimes even prior to the job being done, but not anymore.
Yeah, I mean, and then once it leaves my hands and it goes to the GC, now it's under the GC. I trust the GC to do the right thing.
To
and
pay their workers.
Most of the times, you don't get these guys to do the right thing. So you just got to stay on top of that as well. So we're learning as we go.
Yeah.
Learning as we go. It's been a beautiful journey thus far. Starting small projects, and now we're involved, hands-on. We are our own GCs at times, and we keep growing little by little. The ultimate goal is to eventually have a big company that everything is under.
That everything is in-house.
Everything is in-house.
I mean, right now, I think we're building a team, and that includes growing ourselves, but we're building a really solid team, which is super important if you want to have a successful business, a successful brand. So I guess the whole point even of this conversation and of this video is just to kind of throw out there that just because it's one title that you may have and that people may see on social media, that doesn't really define you. There's so many more things that you do and so many more hats that you have to wear if you want your business to grow and if you want to be successful in whatever it is that you are doing. So just be open and be prepared to having to do more than just what you're passionate about.
Yeah, because I mean, just in any profession, I've played basketball, played in the NBA for so long. If you know multiple positions, then they can utilize you more, and you become more valuable to an organization. So you become more valuable to a business or a company if you know how to do more things. So it kind of goes hand in hand. So,
and that's a great way to put it. I mean, because just like anything, the more value you bring to the table, the more skill sets that you bring to the table, the more value that you have, right?
Yeah, that's a good way to end.
It is.
So thank you guys for listening.
I hope everyone has a blessed week.
And we'll be back with you guys next week.